Many people ask me this question. ISO looks good in theory, but how does it actually works in real life? They don't want clauses. They don't want definitions. They don't want audit language. They want real examples. Examples from factories, examples from offices, examples from MSMEs. Because on paper, everything looks perfect, but on the shop floor, reality is different. So today, I will share real ISO implementation examples from MSMEs. Simple, practical, no jargon. Examples that clearly show one thing. ISO is not paperwork. ISO is a way of working. Hi, I'm Sagar Naik, founder of Swades QMS and a quality management consultant. I work closely with MSMEs in manufacturing and service sectors. And I want to say this very clearly. ISO works only when it is implemented on the shop floor and in daily operations. ISO fails when it stays inside the files and audit folders. Let me show you how ISO actually works in real organizations. Example 1. ISO 9001 in production process. Let's start with the manufacturing example. Before ISO implementation, operators worked based on experience. Each shift followed a different method. Quality depended on who was working. Defects were detected only at the final inspection. Rework was common. Firefighting was normal. After ISO implementation, we did something very simple. We defined one standard method for the operation. Not a big document, not a complicated SOP, just clear steps that everyone could follow. We trained operators on that method. We also introduced one critical quality check inside the process, not at the end. Results started showing. Defects reduced, rework reduced. Operator felt confident. Production becomes stable. This is ISO, not paperwork. Process clarity. Example 2. ISO in purchase and supplier control. Now let's talk about purchasing. Before ISO, suppliers were selected mainly based on price. Quality issues were blamed on vendors. There was no data to support decisions. Incoming material problems disrupted production. After ISO implementation, we introduced basic supplier control. Nothing complicated. We tracked only 3 things. Delivery performance, quality issues, response time. We reviewed suppliers periodically, not every week, not daily, but consistently. Results became visible. Poor suppliers were identified. Good suppliers were retained. Incoming rejections reduced. Production disruptions reduced. ISO helped control supplier risk before it became a crisis. Example 3. ISO in customer complaint handling. Now let's talk about a very common MSME problem. Customer complaints. Before ISO, complaints were handled verbally. Immediate correction was then. No structured analysis. Same complaints repeated. Customer confidence reduced. After ISO implementation, we created a simple complaint process. Nothing fancy. Complaint logged. Root cause discussed. Corrective action defined. Effectiveness checked. Results were clear. Repeat complaints reduced. Customer felt heard. Teams stopped blaming each other. Problems stopped repeating. ISO converted reaction into prevention. Example 4. ISO in role clarity and responsibility. Now let's talk about people issues. Before ISO, this is not my job. Responsibility was unclear. Escalations were frequent. Conflicts were common. Work moved slowly. After ISO implementation, we defined roles and responsibilities. Not long job descriptions, just clarity. Who does what? Who decides? Who reviews? Results improved immediately. Fewer conflicts, faster decisions, better accountability, less confusion. ISO improved teamwork without pressure. Example 5. ISO in internal audit. Now, an important example. Internal audits. Before ISO, audits were checklist based. Findings were weak. Same issues repeated. Audits felt like formality. After ISO implementation, we changed the audit approach. Auditors started asking, how does this process work? What can go wrong? How is it controlled? Results changed. Real gaps were identified. Risks were highlighted early. Management involvement increased. The system improved. Internal audit became a management tool, not an audit ritual. Example 6. ISO in management review. Now let's talk about leadership. Before ISO, meetings were reactive. Decisions were emotional. There was no performance visibility. Surprises were common. After ISO implementation, management review included customer feedback, quality performance, process issues, risks, and actions. Data replaced assumptions. Results were clear, better decisions, clear priorities, fewer surprises, stronger control. ISO helped leaders see reality clearly. What these examples tell us? All these examples have one thing in common. ISO was not used for certification. ISO was used for daily management. No fancy formats, no heavy documentation. Only clear processes, clear ownership, basic discipline, regular review. This is why ISO worked. Why ISO fails when done wrong? ISO fails when copy-paste documents are used. Quality team works alone. Management is absent. Systems exist only for audits. ISO succeeds when leaders use it daily. Teams understand why. Processes are simple. Improvement is continuous. Let me say this clearly. ISO is not expensive. ISO is not complicated. Wrong implementation is. ISO does not slow business. Weak systems slow business. ISO does not replace people. ISO supports people. If these real examples made sense to you, follow Swades QMS for practical quality knowledge. In upcoming videos, I will share more real MSME case studies, ISO mistakes to avoid, digital QMS examples, audit ready systems. Comment ISO if you want real ISO implementation guidance. Thank you for watching.